What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some Erasure, as well as Luca. We'll see what she does here. She seems a bit squirrely, so we'll put her up here. And if she decides to come back, which it looks like she's going straight back for the lap, what can you say? But this is Erasure. We're back with Erasure once again, and we're going to listen to another tune from Cowboy after I had reacted to still one of the bonus tunes from the self-titled album. Once again, shout out to Herman, and there are many of those left still. As well as my first Erasure video reaction, if you didn't see, which made it up here on YouTube, which I'm learning more and more. You know, the percentage of the video reactions I've done, and all of them are on Patreon, and everyone now I think is public. I did the last one like 4 days ago or something, so I think even that one is now public. But yeah, of the video reactions that are on Patreon, I think like 50%, maybe even 40% have been able to post here, and all the rest have been blocked completely. So obviously much more difficult to get those up, but as I keep saying, check out my Patreon and all the videos are there. Obviously the members get early access, but everything should be able to be seen within a few days. So in any case, we're back with the self-titled album, Cowboy, 1997, and the next tune is In My Arms. It sounds sweet, it sounds inviting, it sounds warm and tender. I suppose it could be more overtly physical, but it sounds more like a moment of contentment and love rather than necessarily love along with lust. So let's see what's in play. I feel like, though, Andy's lyrics are often, you know, on both sides of that fence at the same time, so I suppose it would not be entirely surprising. Let's see what I can pick up on a first listen. This is Erasure, the tune is In My Arms, and it's from the 1997 album, Cowboy. The closest I think they've ever been to sounding like Pet Shop Boys.
The deal is on the rise again. The ship comes into shore. Been away to somewhere where the life goes on no lane. Through the fallen ocean.
But that's just vintage Erasure.
Underneath the sea. Tumbling down, we'll be forever calm. You'll be here in my arms. I'll keep you away from harm.
All the bleak melodic runs.
I thought about you twice just now. You get me every time. Coming out of nowhere, it cannot be defined. Your colors are magnificent, from magenta to bright blue. Walls come tumbling down, we'll be forever calm. You'll be here in my
possibly a 303. thought it was going to go into like an ambient outro, a fade out, but only slightly, ever so marginally, disappoints me. But that aside, it's beautiful. It's both sonically beautiful and again very reminiscent of the work that I've come to know from them beyond the work I knew as a kid, which I did know a few of their tunes. And I was thinking about the other day when I talked about Depeche Mode and a couple other groups from the 80s. Erasure was probably number 2 in that slot. And again, Yazoo was also prominent. So I have known Erasure for a long time, though I've only come to know their music in a fuller sense more recently. But again, despite that opening giving me a bit like, oh, this could be the beginning of a PSB track, very quickly it became vintage Erasure, and I feel like it's Andy and Vince's version of Stand By Me. It feels like it's the same thing. The walls could come tumbling down, it doesn't matter, we're here, we'll protect each other, and we'll be safe, and we'll be in love. So it feels very much as sweet as the lyrics from that classic tune, which I do believe I reacted to. It was a little while ago. In any case, love it. Absolutely cool. And it's funny, because, going into this album, I heard it was a bit more poppy again, relative to the self-titled album, which is, longer tracks, a lot of them with, like, ambient electronic sections, very moody, like, soundscape. So in a way, I totally get that. But when I hear this, I hear less like, oh, it's them in their, really poppy vein. I hear, like, Erasure feels like very characteristic of all the sonics I just heard. So yeah, to me it just sounds like them maybe being a little bit less experimental and going back to what they've been doing, perhaps with evolving sonics. Again, I recognize the idea that an album like Chorus is not the same as an album like Wonderland, but yeah, in terms of the feel and the essence of their music, it feels like they've gone from what they do to what they do to what they do, maybe a little bit of experimental what they do and what they do. So yeah, I love Erasure, and I know there's mixed feelings about them, and it's funny to bring up Pet Shop Boys, because I've heard some people who are perhaps more into Pet Shop Boys say like, like I don't like that comparison. I get it because they're duos and they both make synth-pop, but there seemed to be a slight unease about the comparisons among some people, again, who are particularly into Pet Shop Boys. But I like both groups, and I think Erasure are great fun. I do want to mention that meme that Izzy World shared with me, where it's screenshots from The Breakfast Club, the 1980s John Hughes film, and it shows Molly Ringwald's character, and it says Pet Shop Boys, and then it shows Ali Sheedy's character, who's sort of weird and dark, and no one really knows what she's all about. It says Depeche Mode, and then it shows Anthony Michael Hall's character, who's sort of a nerd, and ultimately all the characters you find are three-dimensional. That's kind of the point, is they all come in as stereotypes, and by the end of the movie, it's like, oh wow, we're all complex people, and we all kind of have some similarities. But Anthony Michael Hall's character is a bit of a nerd, and it says Erasure, and I remember laughing so hard. And again, if they're nerds, then I'm a nerd there with them. So let me know what you think. And Luca, the adorable cat, you should have seen just rolling around in my arms, I suppose, during the episode. Although now she bit my thumb, so what do you know? Do let me know what you think. I'll see you next time. Peace.